Local, healthy, traditional foods have been part of First Nations communities and culture since long before colonization, and the circle has long-standing significance. It is a safe place where everyone belongs and where everyone is equal. A learning circle is a way to bring community members together to share our goals and develop a common vision for health and well-being through a healthy food system. It's a way of reviving and reclaiming our traditional ways of knowing through connection and food sovereignty. We acknowledge the traditional territories where the 4th annual gathering has taken place. The Windy Hill Retreat Center is on the traditional territory of the Anishinaabe, Cree, Ojibwe, Dakota, and Dene peoples, and Black River First Nation is on the homeland of the Métis Nation and traditional territory of the Ojibwe and Cree peoples.
We're meeting in Treaty 1 territory at Windy Hill Retreat Center in Manitoba, and this is the 4th gathering of the project. Our first gathering was in Haida Gwaii, and that was in 2015. The following year, we met in Hazelton, Upper Skeena, the territory of the Gitxsan people. The following year, we met in Ministiquan First Nation in Saskatchewan, and this is our 4th retreat. Local Healthy Foods to School is a project geared towards increasing access of students and school communities to local healthy foods, traditions, including the skills involved in hunting, gathering, fishing, processing, preparing, all of those good skills around local foods, and of course, being able to enjoy preparing those foods and eating them.
Food is medicine, and food sovereignty is really about connecting to the land. And when we strengthen our connection to food, it is the essence of revitalizing any culture.
The real idea behind this project is that communities form learning circles and they bring individuals and organizations together to bring more local, healthy food to the school. When they do that, they're able to do more than they would be able to do on their own as individuals or organizations, and it's a really powerful model. So right now we're getting together for our annual gathering, and all the communities are able to share some of the things that they've learned, and there's some inspiration that community members get from the others that are participating in the initiative.
I think it's a big part of reconciliation and revitalizing our traditional ways of knowing. It's so important to have that traditional ways of harvesting and preparing and nurturing ourselves and our families. So it's really inspiring to see people pick that up. It's important to see the work that's needed to regain that knowledge for all of our peoples.
The Learning Circle project has included a Learning Circle evaluation facilitator in each community, and their job is to help to bring together the learning circles, but to maintain some of the motivation and momentum around those prioritized projects.
The Learning Circle in our community has been really about bringing people together that work directly with food and feeding kids in schools. And it's been wonderful to see people who don't normally connect with each other, like farmers and elders and teachers and administrators and cooks, all in one room. And they're able to see each other's perspectives around food and kids.
Bringing back this traditional food gathering in the schools is really great. You know, the kids are happier knowing that they could get some of the traditional foods in too, like the dry fish and fruit leathers and things. I feel it's important that they learn how to do these things, and it will take an elder to go into the schools to continue passing it on.
In a remote community like Haida Gwaii, I feel like it's a good model because it's working on a collective vision and collective goals that people are committed to.
What we wanted to do was look at how this learning circle model would continue to work within that first community, within Haida Gwaii, but also how it would work in extremely different contexts.
Pathways to healthy foods in our schools has been about a 3-year project, and working with the teachers and the Gitxsan children in our schools has been a really fun project, sharing the importance of local foods that come right out of the earth, right from our yards and our territory. So that's been a real enlightening experience, getting to know those resources better and sharing them.
This project has really helped to bring to light how many people value healthy food in our community. One of the big successes that we've had is that every school does have a garden now, and at the high school, the teachers working to get the food that they're growing in their tower gardens and in the garden outside to be more regularly in the cafeteria food that the students are eating. This project was what helped get those gardens built, and now they're a permanent part of the infrastructure at the school, so they will always be there and they'll always be a resource. So that makes me really happy.
Well, we've been conducting learning circles in Minnesota now for about 2.5 years. It's very focused on the school and the participants within the school, on the idea that we can bring local healthy foods to the school, and also looking to see what motivates the students within the school. We've kind of melded it with some of the school gardening programming, and when we're there, they kind of know something is going to be happening, so there's definitely a level of excitement for sure.
With Ryan coming on as the Learning Circle facilitator, I didn't know his background, and I was thankful that he knew more about gardening and learning the skills of how to grow a garden. His way of gardening is, I didn't believe it, but now I see the results of how everything just grew nice. To me, I just feel it kind of lifted the spirits up of the children. Also, the skill of gardening is something that we all learned.
We're trying to incorporate our elders to participate, and while they're doing that, we get to learn our culture and our history through them. Our goals are to provide a healthy lifestyle. Our school recently purchased 12 canoes, so we do canoeing, we do fishing, and wild rice picking. Kids are very observant. Most of them are up for anything that gets them out of the school, out of the classroom, out of the ordinary. So the kids' participation is really great, enthusiastic. I think that's where I felt the most success in the program.
One of the things that I felt came across really strongly to me was how invested all of the community members are in their youth and the future of their youth. I constantly heard, oh, we're doing this for the children, we're doing this for the youth, we really want them to eat healthily, we want them to make good choices, and that I felt came across really strongly to me, just how deeply invested they were in the future of their youth.
You have expectations maybe going into this, especially from the proposal development stage, and I think what's been interesting is it hasn't really looked like we thought it would look. It's been quite different. The learning circles have been different in each community, and I think that's been great because it really tells me that this works. I think this model really works because it can be flexible, and it's just a really good way to work together to do evaluation research.
I think it was handled really well because we're here still today. The wheels could have come off easily if things weren't done properly. And so the fact that we were able to maintain and continue through 4 different visits together and coming together is a really good indicator that we figured it out. There was a lot of bumps, it was really difficult, and finding ways to get through that. That's the success story of this story, I think.
Our job at this point is to pull together some of the lessons we've learned through the project and to begin to tell the stories so that that can be useful to communities as they move forward on their own projects.
I think the Learning Circle gave me direction and kind of showed me a process of how to get there. When I first started, just threw me in and said, teach the kids something. And through the Learning Circle, they had a process, a support system, and that was very helpful in our community.
I think perseverance and dedication is definitely key to the project in Minnesota, and being able to adjust our expectations as we go. Those expectations should always be up for review and adjustment. The end might not be in sight because there may never be an end. It just continues to grow, I think.
Our role is really about supporting people that are already doing the work and connecting them to each other, and then it grows from there.
The communities are driving what they're doing, and that's really what this whole thing is about. It's them taking ownership for what they think is important in their community and what they need. And we, as a research team, are really working to facilitate, and I think that's what's really exciting.
It's really the voice of community that I think we want to capture here, because this is their project. We see it as a project that's for community, by community, and will be sustained by community. And as an evaluation group, we're just walking alongside and trying to benefit the projects with whatever resources we can help to supply to support the great initiatives that are going on.
Hey,